Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to my roof. If you missed the last episode that we did up here, this is my roof. Thursday mornings. My husband does the night shift, so don't want to be making noise downstairs in the living room. I still find it weird to film content in and around his vicinity. I don't know why. It's still a thing. So anyway, we're up on the roof. I remember hearing Tom Nosky say that about his girlfriend Michaela, fiance, wife, I'm not sure if they're married now. And it made me laugh because I had, 10 past 6 in the morning over here. We got about 15 minutes before I got to skedaddle into Central. I got one of my lovely clients is moving house as well, so me and a friend are going to go pick up some stuff and help her find better homes for it. I do find that such a incredibly gut-wrenching experience, moving places. For somebody that managed to fit her entire life into about 2 suitcases for quite a few many years, it's every time I move now, it's very interesting how much stuff you can accumulate, and how much can't come with you as well, especially in Hong Kong with these places. We downsize quite often, and sorry, I'm still waking up. Not that I need to apologize for that. But there's never a lot of storage space built into the apartments here. They're quite small. It's notorious for being small square footage because we just don't have the space. I mean, one thing I'm actually very excited about getting to the mountains this year is just the vastness and the space. I think it's going to be a whole nother level. Like, we've hiked the Austrian Alps at 3,000 meters, 2,000, 3,000 meters, but we are landing. This yawn got me today. We are landing in 3,000, at 3,000 meters above sea level. That's where Juarez, the city that we land in, is located. And then we drive up into the mountains to start. So I think we're starting at about 4,000. We're hiking around 4,000, 5,000 meters. All of us are getting excited on the group chat. We've just ticked over into our 30-day countdown. It's 24 sleeps now until we head off. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It still kind of blows my mind that we've managed to make this pact back in... Excuse the yawning. That's going to keep happening. We're going to carry on. We made this pact back in 2022. That was the year that we were out of Hong Kong for COVID. Everything shut down. I'd just had my spine surgery, told my business partner I was leaving the agency and taking a step back, and that I could work and fulfill graphics online at my laptop at home while I was recovering, while he found replacements and stuff, and we sorted that out. I almost ended up working still for almost about a year actually after that, which was tough. It's hard to dig yourself out of a job that you've underpriced yourself at. Note to self. All right? I mean, it was so ludicrous. It got to the point... Morning, birds. It got to the point where we couldn't even outsource freelancers on Fiverr because we'd miscalculated our own fucking fees so badly. It's a big problem with creatives. It's very easy to undervalue your services for what it is that you provide. It's also very easy for people to shit on you for overpricing your services if you haven't got the portfolio or the cojones to back it up. But underpricing and delivering work is so fucking soul-sucking. It's that... I don't think I've even read it. What's that book about negotiating? It's sort of like, I think it was the main concept or ethos. Oh, excuse me. The main concept or ethos was that if you're both negotiating, both parties lose. Like, if everybody's having to negotiate to be subpar as to where they're at, it's like, no, it's like ideally you're building win-win-win situations with people. You're not sort of meeting people where they need and then half-assing it, because it's you as the provider that starts to get a little bit jaded or irritated with the client. And it's like that then is what actually grinds away at you more than anything else. Because you'd have no problem doing the work if you were getting paid properly for it. And especially, it's always the fucking nasty clients or people that want way too much, and are always going to expect more for the price that they're paying. They want above and beyond, and they expect to pay the smallest minimal fee. And they're usually the ones that are the biggest pains in the asses. So I still remember the first time I learned you could fire your clients. Come here. It was like a concept. Come here. Come. It's like a concept that was new to me. It's like, what do you mean you can fire your clients? It's like, yeah, come. When you're working at your own company. Hello. Come say hi. Come. Look. Look. Good morning. There's Lincoln. Oh, did you go downstairs by yourself today? Hold on. He's fetching an old boy. Fetching an old boy. And usually just let the door open and he goes out by himself in the morning for a little toilet break, huh? A little toilet break? To be fair, usually I take him for a walk. Oh, we're losing focus. Usually I take him for a walk. That's why he wanted some attention this morning, and I didn't want to go downstairs. I wanted to film this. So, you can come sit here. It's dry. That's why I brought your towel. AstroTurf is wet. He's going to go into his little bed over there. All right. See you just now. I love animals, man. I love animals. You know, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a vet because I wanted to just be around animals the whole time. I was like, surely any job. I love thinking back sometimes at my childhood logical reasoning brain as to why I wanted to do things. The vet was not because of the medicines, because I got to sit and play with animals the whole time. Which, fair enough, when you're that young, you probably don't realize all that goes into the training of a veterinarian. I just remember watching Dr. Dolittle, and his daughter's name was Maja Doolittle, and I was like, that's it. I'm going to be a pet medium. I'm going to be able to talk to animals, and that's it. Animals are my friends. And then I remember the day that I found out that veterinarians also had to put down the animals, and I was like, nope, can't do it. I was like, I can't take part in that. So that was swiftly off the table. Still want to have more of my own animals. I think that would be amazing. I cannot wait till we can get somewhere with more space and have more dogs and more puppies. I've never had a puppy before. I'd love to have a puppy. Lincoln wasn't a puppy when I arrived. I still find it so funny. I remember when my husband proposed, I said, you're going to have to tell Lincoln. I was like, you're going to have to tell the dog. You're going to have to tell the dog. Oh, grey tea. Man, I don't know if you can hear through the speakers, but the sound of the birds and the quiet and the stillness is actually a little bit cool this morning. We're expecting another typhoon. I don't think it's actually going to hit us, but it's going to go near us. And it gets cooler in the morning sometimes, and then it gets hot in the afternoons, and we know we're in for a pressure storm. It's very odd. It's just nice that it's been no rain. I genuinely, Gus needs the sun and needs to see the blue skies. We had 6 weeks where I think we had about 7 days worth of sun dotted around that 6 weeks, and you can just tell when the whole city starts to become a bit more agitated and irritated. And it's like none of us had seen sunshine. It's bad enough when you're living in a city where you barely get any sunshine anyway. Oh look, the sun's hitting off the building behind there, off the panel, and it's glowing through. But yeah, you can just tell everybody starts to get a little bit irritated and agitated. I remember that feeling when I moved to the UK for a while. Big difference between the city feel of Hong Kong and London. It definitely always felt a lot more on edge. Everybody was at a baseline agitation. makes sense because of the weather. I think I've talked about it before. It was a real thing that they taught us at university, especially for the kids going over to the UK, the SAD, seasonal affected disorder. I don't know which one it is, but it's a real thing. Not seeing the sunshine, going through the UK winters, that was tough. I remember when I was working at Gym Box, my goodness. I mean, I'd be at the gym at 5:30 to start my shift and open up. So I'd be leaving the house at 4. So pitch black, dark. Luckily, I would be finishing around 12:1. Get about an hour of sunshine, if that, before the sun was going down. It blew my mind how people did it. You go to the office in the dark, you finish in the dark, you go home, everything's dark. I just remember wanting to get home, watch a movie, and go to bed. That's all I wanted to do at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Flip side, summers were amazing. Light till 10 p.m. I remember as kids when we used to go to the UK's as summers, it used to weird me out, especially when mum and dad were like, no, it's bedtime. I'm like, sunshine? No bedtime. I can't imagine trying to wrangle young kids into bed at like 8, 9, 10, or 7 when they're that young, which is usually what their bedtime is, and that's where it gets dark over here, and they're like, no, it's still light. My goodness, the older I get, the more the moon's out. I'll show you guys in a second, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the cinematic view, but the clouds are very pretty today. Gosh, I don't even know. This is a morning appreciation post. Just had that really amazing conversation with Caitlin yesterday, and again, talking to more people about this. It is one of the hardest things, feeling alone and feeling like nobody understands, and then feeling like you're putting out your offers and you're putting out your content, and you're just surrounding people that don't fucking get it, And it's like, is it because the work's bad, or is it because the audience that I have just doesn't get it? And is it because I'm not seeing new eyeballs because I haven't busted through that thing? Is it like, what is it? It's so hard. This is where like the mentors, the coaches, the things come into play. But I think you have to be so prepared to realize that maybe the first container or the first community or the first group or the first coach that you find might not be the right one. And you have to be able to take that impact, learn what you can, take what you need, make your, return on investment for it, or just understand that if you're not immediately getting an ROI on your investment, there are nuggets, there are pieces, there are things that you can learn. And if there are things that you can't learn, what you have learned is how not to do it. Because holy hell, there's that saying, it's a lot easier to figure out what you don't want than it is what you do want. And so by going and testing, by going and trialing, I remember this was my goal all last year, to just test different styles of classes. I didn't even know how I enjoyed teaching. I didn't even know how I enjoyed imparting wisdom. And it is one thing to be able to do a thing. It is a whole nother skill set to be able to teach that thing to somebody where they actually not only understand it, but understand it at a level where they can then go and repeat those results as well, not just with them, but with other people. That is a whole nother level of that skill. And I think people very severely underestimate. I think, we are in this time where it's like, oh yeah, just do this, and oh yeah, just do that. And there are elements of, yeah, just fucking do it. But there are also elements of, how about you do what you're actually qualified to do, and don't just do something that you're completely unqualified to do and then expect that to be the thing that gives you millions at a push of a button. It's like, at what point did that become normal? I don't know, I guess we just live in this society where people just assume that they get everything for not putting in any fucking effort anymore. Because even when we were chatting yesterday, it's like there are so many different ways that you can make money online, right? Caitlin's been going down the rabbit hole of the TikTok shop. I have a lot of other friends that are also building their Amazon webs. I've spoken about this before. That web, I don't think, is something anybody should really overlook nowadays, especially if you're building a personal brand, because technically everything that you're wearing, walking, eventually I'll do it with these little microphones and the camera, it's my phone on cinematic view, by the way. I'll get my own little Yeti mug made maybe at one point, and you can have the links underneath where people can purchase the equipment. When I start doing more of my artwork, it'll be the brushes, it'll be the paints, it'll be the things that I'm using, the tools, the materials. We were always told, especially in Tom's group in Time to Build with the photographers, any big pieces of equipment that you're using, anything that people would want to learn from you or you're allowed to put those things down as little affiliate links and Amazon links or TikTok shop or whatever. I have refused to even ever own TikTok, and I refuse to go on it. It's still got a ban in Hong Kong, and I'm not using a VPN entirely for. I'm getting very distracted. These clouds are very pretty. Hang on, let me see if this isn't going to completely ruin this. I've got these like big dotted clouds. That's what I'm staring at behind you. I'm going to take it for a little ride. Maybe this is why I don't film upstairs. Maybe this is why I film in the living room. It's the most distraction-less place, but with natural light and with the back. It's going to be enjoying my sunny rooftop. I don't feel like going and sitting inside today. I've got four clients back to back this afternoon in the gym. Not gonna lie, it's been amazing getting back on the floor, and luckily I know there's a finite point, but holy crap, man, I get back on the floor and I'm sitting there and I'm like, nope, I'd rather make my own money. I'd rather be my own boss. I'd rather not be clocking in for somebody else's hours. And again, means to an end, right? I was starting to waste my beautiful, restful time that I had figured out with this desperation. And I honestly think, having not been in a mentorship group for this last year, it's been good to start learning to trust and find my own voice. But it's also been very, like, I've noticeably realized I'm kind of doing this. Like, I am in a bit of a limbo in terms of figuring this out by myself. And when you are building, it's very easy to have attached yourself to an idea, to a framework, to a way of building that you might not even realize that you've attached yourself to, that's not necessarily the correct blueprint for you. I mean, I felt like I did that for ages. I mean, even chatting with Caitlin, we raffled off a few little, like, low-ticket, options for little lead magnet things. And I'm sitting there going, why haven't I done one myself? But I also still feel like for that, again, you have to come to an open and closed little loop of something that's exciting you in order to tie a nice little bow on it to deliver it. I do want to get my landing page for my newsletter up and running. I want to get its own landing page together for that. I've got my Maja studio, my one-on-one sessions. It looks like you can start coding some really cool websites using Claude and then hosting them. I've got another lovely lady, Kerry, who lives in Hong Kong. She started putting up some YouTube videos. She's a coder, engineer, copywriter, website whiz. She lives on a boat out in Kwintong out here. I actually need to go and make sure I have a coffee with her at some point. I'm going to start watching her YouTube video, but she did a tutorial on how to host and code and host your own website to make it look nicer. Because I think that, it's funny, I've been noticing Kat GPT from Instagram. I mention her quite a lot. She's one of the bigger forward-facing leaders of Claude use, but Claude use in the practical bringing a business idea into fruition. She's the lady that did the rotary phones, the Bluetooth rotary phones back in the day, and cracked like fucking however many millions of sales. It was incredible to watch. It was hilarious. I laughed because my dad used to have one of those phone extensions for his mobile, and he absolutely fucking loved it. It was an orange, bright orange, handheld, spiral cord phone receiver that he'd plugged into his phone, and he kept at the top of his briefcase. So when anybody rang, he picked up the orange phone from his briefcase and just went, hello. He thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. Shit, man, I sometimes look back and think, it's like, what the fuck did he deal with us as daughters? I put out a story yesterday about My House, My Rules. I attached a photo from one of the photo shoots my sister and I did back in the day in our Union Jack bikinis. And it reminded me of the event that we did it at. It was a black tie event in Hong Kong where we were working for a property agency, and usually at those things you get put in a nice little slick black dress, right? You got your heels on, you walk around, you're handing out cards, you're meeting people, you're collecting business cards, whatever the deal is. Oh my goodness, black tie event. It was a white collar boxing event. Walked in, all the guests are in tuxedos, the women are in gorgeous gowns. Our uniform are bikinis and high heels to walk around this event, to hand out brochures for a property company. My sister and I took it, it was good money. We were like, sweet, but we didn't know what our uniform was going to be for the evening. And turns out we knew half the room. Friends, but family friends. I've even been in touch recently with one of the guys, and I sent him a message. I was like, I don't suppose you still have that photo of the two of us outside of the event? He was like, your dad is going to kill me. He took a photo with us outside the event, because that's what we also had to do. We had to stand at the entrance, fucking outside of the event, waiting for the guests to leave. Like, what? I definitely put myself through a lot of shame training when I was younger, without, I guess, either realizing or learning it was shamed. I don't know. I still now kind of, I've overlooked everything, hey. I've just overlooked everything that I've achieved as not as meh. And I think when you do that for so long, you can forget sometimes how incredible your life is compared to somebody else's, or how different it is compared to somebody else's. And because it's your normal, you don't always click. Hong Kong is one of the most ludicrous cities to grow up in. I am so grateful that I grew up in this side of the world and I saw, but I was living in amongst that crazy rich Asian kind of lifestyle, but on a policeman's salary and benefits. But we always had whatever we wanted. Mum always made sure of that, to the detriment of their own finances, which I also don't agree with. Like, to the very detriment, I think she went the other way. Instead of being far too stingy, she was far too not stingy, and it almost killed my father. When you can only earn so much. Dad loved his job as, the moon's up there as well. Dad loved his job as the police, but the salary wasn't great. So there was only so much he couldn't earn any more. And 4 kids in a city like this, man, it's amazing what people decide to choose sometimes. And look, Mum always said she wouldn't have it any other way. But man, oh man, I don't know. I think there's no more broke artists, no more broke creatives. I think that's just it. Like, we've now got to a point where the tech has caught up. You're creative enough to bring your ideas into real life already. The internet opens up the jar of possibilities for you. And again, if you don't want it and you don't need it, don't fucking do it. It's not my problem. Like, I don't need everybody to be online. Less is better, to be honest, more for the rest of us. But it's the people that are wanting more and know that they can provide more for the people around them with more of the material. Like, it's the green energy. That's what my Reiki master called it, and I've always learned to now start calling it that. But I've also started to learn to become aware of my habits around it and with it and all of it, and so much of it I just don't want to think about. And I remember it was Becca that did a reel on what it feels like, and she was like, yeah, for the first 2 years it's great, but the novelty wears off very quickly. The biggest thing and the biggest difference, if anything, that I can say is that it's the energy exchange of what it is you're doing. Like, it just allows you to move through life at a different pace and at a different level of calm when you have the ability to just go, boop, yeah. It's very different. But I've heard, and I heard that from a few different things and a few different sources, that the feeling was relief. And to be honest, that has now been the feeling I've been looking to embody more than the feeling of elevated joy or happiness or other things. It's the feeling of awe and wonder that opens up the heart. But then it's also that feeling of relief. It's the calm, it's the letting go, it's the I'm safe. There is nothing else to do. It's that feeling. And it's amazing that all the pureness and all the clarity comes when we are in those states, and our entire worlds are set up to pull us out of those states. So again, kind of pulling back, shit, it's 25, I gotta go. Pulling back to that mind movement media, right? Your mental health, your physical health, and your soul health. A friend of mine put a post up yesterday. It's like, you can't overthink if you're sprinting through a forest. Get back into your body. Stop allowing all your energy to escape out there. You're tired and you're stressed out because it's all just being siphoned from you at every single opportunity. Bring it all back. Bring it all back to you. Get quiet. Get calm. Go sit outside in nature. Go listen to the birds. Go try and distinguish different sounds. Hear more layers than just the first thing. Like, listen. Like, expand that awareness and expand your view. Like, look further. Like, that's why the mountains, I think, really helps us as well. It just puts us back into perspective. Like, we are so small on this planet. We are so tiny and so insignificant, and it's amazing how much significance we put on it. And of course, that's great. We get to, that's the thing. That's the best part about life, but it's that reminder that there actually is no point. The point is what you make of it. The point is what you decide. So you get to create the point of your life. So make it something that's fun for you, because there's enough shit to go with it. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, there's always going to be, so don't make it more than you need it to be. All right, I gotta go. Thank you for spending my Thursday with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Friday's episode. Another week down. 24 nights, sleep until the mountains.